Yo, what's poppin'? Welcome to Bhroman Braapsody. We are at Indian Motorcycle Greensboro Triad at the new headquarters of World Class Power Sports right here in High Point, North Carolina. And guess what? We have the Indian Motorcycle demo truck out here today. And we're gonna start off with the brand new 2022 Indian Pursuit. If the Indian Challenger and the Indian Roadmaster had a baby, this is what it would look like. It's got the fixed front fairing. It's the liquid-cooled 108 cubic inch engine, puts out 122 horses, 128 foot-pound of torque. It's got the lowers, it's got a tool pack, 35 plus gallons of fuel tank. Pretty unchanged from what a regular Challenger would look like, but it's got more features. And it's got more features on the Roadmaster because it's got 6-axis IMU, traction control, all of that fun stuff. It's got preload suspension, the first time ever for a Challenger, but this is the Pursuit, so that's something they don't have. Fixed fairing, you still have the 25-degree rake angle up front. What's the rake angle? Draw perpendicular from the steering mount, follow the fork tube. That's your rake angle. Inverted front forks, contrast cut wheels, beautiful headlamp up front, and you have driving lights down below on the two sides with that Indian headrest logo on top, which lights up as well. I love this matte finish. Like, Indian has been doing such an amazing job with the paint quality and the matte finishes. I'm a big fan. Since it's a dark horse, you can see like blacked out parts everywhere. The engine parts are all blacked out. Your exhaust is blacked out. You have the dual exhaust coming out, and it's the Roadmaster trunk here. So you have your brake lights and tail lights up there on top as well. Down below you have a little antenna for your radio. It's a good looking bike. Now, the difference between the fairings between the Roadmaster and the Pursuit, like on the Roadmaster you have a little storage space here. This does not have a storage space over here. I mean, you can see the cutout, but it's not closed. But not to worry, you have space. You have storage space on the sides here with the USB cable, and same on the other side. You have some more storage space down there, so that's pretty cool. Do you know how to get to your fuel cap? See, you can't open it from here. Well, there's a button over here for your fuel cap. It has a little fuel icon. You press that, that releases the fuel cap here. That was a little struggle because the fuel cap cannot be unlocked when the bike is running. There's a central lock and then fuel cap. Press that. Once it's unlocked, boom, it pops open, and then you can close it. Pretty cool. Took me a minute to find that out, but hey. As for the saddlebags, these are big spacious saddlebags here that you would expect out of these touring motorcycles. And it's got keyless ignition, so this is your key fob. You can lock and unlock it, and as long as you have the key fob on you and you're close to the bike, everything works. Let's take a look at the tool pack. Looks like the Roadmaster tool pack. So yeah, you have a banana and an apple here. Thanks for putting it here, whoever did. And you have your power outlet, 12-volt power outlet here. I know in my Roadmaster you can put two full-size helmets in here, and I'm guessing you can do the same here as well. And this is something new from the 2021 model year, I think. They started putting a little luggage rack on top of the tool pack, so if you have another bag, you can put it here and tie it down. The passenger backrest is awesome. You have speakers. These are the comfy seats, heated seats. You have controls here on the sides, or you can control it from the right command center. Press and hold the power button. You should be good to go. You get that awesome graphics on the right command center. I'm a big fan of this, of the right command center. You have the split screen. You can customize all of these split screens. You can select whatever you want. Let's say you want this, lift it, drag it here, boom, click done, and it's done. You have your music settings, you have your phone, you can pair your phone, navigation, all of that good stuff. And if you click on that Indian thing on top, you can select all of your different ride settings, your riding modes. Heated grips, you can turn them on or off. Your seats, you have your heated seats controlled from here as well. Not just that, you can turn your traction control on and off, and you have your preloads here, so you can have it just for a rider, or you can change it to a passenger. with bags and whatnot. So you have 3 modes. That's pretty cool. You have rider and with passenger, or without bags, or you can just say I'm a rider. As for your controls, on the left hand side are your high beams, low beams, horn, turn signals, menu settings. On your right hand side are the kill switch, starter button, cruise control, and you can move your windshield up or down. That's pretty cool. And over here we have 2 old school sort of displays. You have your speedometer, tachometer with warning lights everywhere. Down here is your fuel gauge, and this is your odometer with which gear you're on. Then we also have speakers, and since this has a tour pack, you get 4 speakers, so you should have awesome sound. Alright, so let's get started. If you're new to Bhroman, give us a like and hit that subscribe button. We put out content every week, and your support would mean a lot. So let's do our first test. Let's make a couple of U-turns and see how this puppy handles, shall we? Yeah, big wheelbase. I mean 65.7 inch wheelbase, 900 odd pound weight, but it's got a cast aluminum frame, so U-turns are not bad at all. I mean, are not bad at all. First impressions of this motorcycle is very comfortable. These handlebars are nice and pull back towards me. I'm loving the seat. It's that premium comfort heated seat, and these seats feel awesome. Let's check out the brakes since we're at a red light. Brake, brake, brake. Front brakes only. Good brakes. Good brakes, no problem at all. Well, let's go ahead and put it in sport mode. So you have 3 riding modes. You have rain, standard, and sport. So let's put it in sport and do our pull test. See how this puppy pulls, shall we? Woo! Yeah, boy! Oh my god, it's all that power and torque can make this behemoth hustle for sure. Wind protection is awesome. With the lowers and everything, there is no wind that's hitting me. I am getting a little bit of wind in my hands here, but none on my body, because we have a big windshield, so that blocks a lot of the wind. The bike is quite planted, and it's just moving along, just chugging along, no worries. You want to pass traffic, give it some gas, and boom. This is awesome. Now I've seen, like, on the forums and stuff, ever since Indian announced the Pursuit, people are going on and on about, hey, it's just a Challenger with a tour pack. Well, to a certain extent, yes. I like to think of it as like, if the Roadmaster and the Challenger had a baby, this is what it would look like. And it's a little different from your Challenger in the sense that the Challenger does not come with the preload suspension settings. This one does. This has the preload settings, and yeah, but other than that, the Challenger has pretty much the exact same features. The same V-twin, the liquid cooled 108 cubic inch V-twin, similar numbers, similar horsepower numbers. Maybe it's tuned a little bit differently. The riding position is very similar as well. And you know, there's a market for the fixed fairing bikes. A lot of people like it, a lot of people don't, but there is a big market for the fixed fairing fender, fixed fairing, the bull nose or the shark nose fairing sort of touring motorcycles. And I felt like the only thing that the Challenger was missing was a touring version of that bike. The Challenger has been plenty powerful throughout, but this bike kind of checks off all those boxes. This has more than 35 gallons of storage space and trunk space and whatnot, and it's liquid cooled, so you get the power is much quicker, the power delivery is much smoother, and you know, it's a great ride. Like, the suspension is doing great. I'm on the highway doing doing what, 65, 70 miles an hour, minding my own business, no problem at all. The balance of this bike is freaking awesome. It's staying upright. But yeah, and it's a little heavier than the Challenger. Why? Because, well, it's got the lowers and it's got the tool pack, so it's a little different. And a lot of people might think like, hey, you know, why does it have to be a different model altogether? You realize the difference between a Chieftain and a Roadmaster basically is the lowers and the tool pack. So that's the biggest difference between a Chieftain and a Roadmaster. So why not have a different bike altogether for between the Challenger and the Pursuit? I mean, I'm cool with that. So let's try the cruise control and see how it goes. Alright, cruise control set at 60 miles an hour. My hands off the throttle, so we're chugging along. If you want to go a little faster, yeah, just hit the plus arrow and you're just chugging along. So this bike is going to be great for folks who do a lot of two-up riding, but they also want the performance of a Challenger rather than what you'd get out of a Chieftain or a Roadmaster. Could you use this for commuting? If you're doing city riding and city commuting, probably not. This is going to be a little heavy for tight spaces and whatnot. But for highway riding, sure, I don't see why not. Now, would this be good for touring? Heck yeah, man. This is gonna be great for touring. Great for touring. The seat is very comfortable. The bike feels very planted. Wind protection is great. Lots of storage space. Lots of storage space. So I don't see why not. I don't see a reason why this would not be good for touring. I think it'll be great. So this has a pretty decent seat height. I am 5'10", 31-inch inseam. I can flat foot this bike very easily, and when we are stopped, this is not trying to go one way or the other. It's staying pretty much upright. That's a very good thing. Let's see. So we had it in sport mode. I'm gonna put it in standard mode for this segment of the video. So now let's see, in standard mode it still revs up, but it's not as punchy, you know. The power is not as punchy as it was in sport mode, and it's standard mode, so it's supposed to do standard things. Would this be a good bike for beginners? Not at all. This is not a bike for beginners. Why, you ask? Well, it's putting out a good amount of power for beginners. 122 horses, 126 or 128 foot-pound of torque. This weighs north of 900 pounds or close to 900 pounds. Then the price point of 30-some thousand. So you can get a car for this price. So this is not a beginner bike by any stretch of the imagination when you combine all of those factors together. This is a bike for people who want to go touring, long distance touring or whatever. And in this setup, it's for folks who like to go two-up touring. The seat is super comfy, heated seats, heated grips, lots of storage space, beautiful wind protection, great sounding speakers, so you can listen to your music as you're cruising down the highway or whatever. And I'm not gonna try out the speakers on this bike because, you know, YouTube kind of dings you for music from other places. But I have the Roadmaster. I have the 2020 Indian Roadmaster Dark Horse, same setup with the speakers and everything, and those speakers are loud, man. Like, I can hear music going down the highway, doing highway speeds or whatever. So yep, it's not gonna be a problem at all. Now this is a 6-speed bike, so you can do highway speeds, and still, if you want to go around people in 6th gear, give it gas, no problem at all. This bike would be great for people who want to go touring long distance touring, and you know, you like a motorcycle, a touring motorcycle with the shark nose fairing or the bull nose fairing, basically a fixed fairing, and yeah, you just want to go out, have fun, eat up miles. And the biggest difference between this and the Roadmaster and the Chieftain is that it's liquid cooled, so I'm not getting a lot of heat coming out from the sides. Those are air cooled engines, so like my Roadmaster, when it gets hot, you can feel the heat coming out from the side. Not on this one per se, or in the few miles that I've ridden it, I don't feel it. Ooh, the wind protection is pretty good. The wind protection is maybe not quite on par as I have it on my Roadmaster, but that's just different sort of fairing, so maybe that kind of helps. But overall wind protection is great. Like my upper body, lower body, I'm not getting wind anywhere except for maybe the corner of my arms, but that's because the handlebars are right at this point where that fender, where that fairing ends, so maybe that's what it is. But no, overall this is a great bike. Well, it's the Pursuit, the bike for you. Well, head on down to your closest Indian dealership and check it out. So this was the first ride of the 2022 Indian Pursuit Dark Horse. Shout out to our friends at Indian Motorcycle Greensboro Triad and the Indian Motorcycle Demo Tour. Thanks for watching, you guys. Keep your knees in the breeze, and I'll see you soon. Bro out.